Hey, it's Casey. Glad to have you back for another video. And if this is your first time at my channel, welcome. And if you like wisdom, expanded consciousness, healing, and living your best life, be sure to subscribe to the channel and give this video a like. Today, we are talking about the law of vibration. This is the third in the Hermetic principles, right? We have different frequencies going on everything. Just think about sound. Just think about sound frequencies. If you're stuck in fear, working a job you don't like, living a life you don't like, not in the right relationship or not in a relationship, your dwelling isn't optimal. If you want to attract into your life all the good things, if you can, in this tutorial, in this teaching, I'm going to show you how when you're on the right frequency, the right things come into your life. What's up? I'm Casey. I've gone from 240 pounds down to about 170. My life was in the gutter. I was severely addicted to drugs and lost my whole family due to my behavior and my way of thinking. And I have since come back from the grave, and I've learned a lot of things about life and how to navigate life in order to be your most authentic self, which is really what I was running from my whole life, and also how to be in the world and how to attract what you want in the world. Now I'm in the best shape of my life, completely sober, and building a business that I'm proud of. And this one hermetic principle, the law of vibration, really helped me out a lot. So, first off, everything is energy. Everything is energy. Everything is moving. Everything is vibrating. And this isn't just woo-woo. This is science, okay? This is physics. Everything has a vibration. Everything has a frequency. Like, can you imagine that opera lady that sings at the highest octave and breaks the glass? Right? Because she found out the frequency that that glass was vibrating. And that's how she broke the glass, with her sound frequency. So wherever you're sitting right now or the floor you're standing on, vibrating. Your body, vibrating. Your thoughts, vibrating. Some things vibrate fast and some things vibrate slow. But everything is vibrating and everything is moving. Nothing is staying still. Sometimes when things are moving so fast, you can't even tell that they're moving. They appear to be still. Just like when something's moving so slow, you can barely tell it's moving. It's the same thing on both ends of the spectrum. We already know we can measure this in real life, right? So like deep bass in your tunes, it's like operating at like 60 hertz. And those high octaves, that treble, or a high pitched whistle, that's up at like the 2000 hertz or 10,000 hertz. Different vibrations, different sounds. Color works the same way. Red vibrates at about 430 terahertz, and blue operates at 670 terahertz. Different vibrations, different colors. But here's where it gets interesting. Emotions have a frequency. And in David Hawkins' book, Letting Go, he mentioned these. Actually, I don't know if it was Letting Go or I think it was Power versus Force. He probably mentioned it in both of them, but emotion has a frequency. David Hawkins spent decades researching this, and he found a way to measure the frequencies. He created a scale of consciousness, mapping it from 20 up to 1,000. All right. And when I was early in my journey here, years ago, I made this for my house. Okay, you can't really see. Okay, you can see it on this one. So this is the David Hawkins scale of consciousness in my beautiful artwork here. And we have 20 down here. Okay, this is shame. It's the lowest vibration, just shame. Can you just think about shame? You don't even want to look at anybody. You don't like yourself. You think everybody doesn't like you. It's very closed off. It's very depressive. Okay, let's move up to a few to grief, right? We can still possibly operate in the world, but we're very lethargic. We're very inward focused. We're very heavy and grieving. Let's move up the scale a little bit. Anger. Okay. Now we got some energy going on. Okay. Anger. Lots of wars have been started in anger. Lots of lands have been conquered in anger. Lots of action has been taken in anger. Okay. Now we're moving here. Let's move up to courage. Okay. Now we can overcome fear. Now we can go places we've never gone before. We have a little bit of faith and courage, that energy, the frequency is rising. We'll go up here to neutrality, willingness, acceptance, reason, love. Okay, love is at 500. Nothing can faze me when I'm full of love. The guy cutting me off in traffic, that he must have somewhere to go, right? My boss throwing me a bunch of work, it's okay, I'm in love. Or, I'm full of love, I'm in love. You know what love vibrates at, right? Clear up here in the 500s. So if we keep going up, joy, 540, peace, 600, enlightenment, 700 up to 1,000. Now we're talking Buddha, Jesus, these enlightened beings that kind of just float around and like glow. Okay, this is like ultimate frequency energy, and this is the lowest frequency energy, shame, right? So during this time, I really checked in with myself, like, what am I vibrating at right now? Like some mornings I'd be vibrating down here in fear, desire, and anger, 100 to 150. Sometimes down here in apathy at 50. Sometimes I just wake up in willingness, acceptance, reason, and love. I'm operating in the 200 to 400 range. And sometimes I just got my bonus. That person called me that I wanted them to call. I have some things lined up with my kids this weekend. Now I'm up in this 540, 600 peace and joy. Nothing can faze me. All is right with the world. The sun is out. Everything's beautiful. So you can see how our frequency can change here. So back to my story about my transformation. Okay, when I was back in that 240-pound body, hating everything, not liking my job, my life, my career, my internal world, my external world, really not happy or satisfied with anything. I'm down here in the shame, guilt, apathy, grief, fear. I have a desire for something else. I'm down here in the 20 to 125, right? So what was I getting back? Going back to my other video, the mirror principle or the law of correspondence, what was I getting back? I was getting negativity back to me. I was getting animosity back to me. I was getting people being closed off to me, people being standoffish, people being trying to be safe and set boundaries around me, right? That's the reflection I got when I'm down here in my, you know, in the bad part of my life. So this is not doing well at work. This is not having a good marriage. This is not having health or a body that I like. This is being poor and always wanting more, trying to fill a hole. That's this frequency down here. So if we move up here to like where I'm at now, I'm definitely past the neutrality. I'm definitely onto willingness, acceptance, reason, love, joy. I'm definitely up here most of the time. Am I up here all the time? No. I was just down here in anger like yesterday. Okay? Because things happen, and we deal with them and we feel our feelings, and when we let it flow through us, then we can pop back up here because this is our natural state up here. Without all this going on, without all the layers of BS, crud, trauma, you know, not having perspective about the world, we can easily get down here. When we let go of all that, we just pop up here naturally. So what is up here? Who wants to be around somebody full of love and joy? I do. What are you attracting up here at Love and Joy? You go in for a job interview. You're wide open. You're loving life. You're very happy. You have an energy about you, right? That's your frequency you're transmitting to them. They're like, heck yeah, we want this guy on board. This guy is bringing some great energy to the team. Okay, you go to say hi to a woman in the or a man in the restaurant, or sorry, in line for coffee or something, and you're down here, fear, grief, apathy, guilt, shame, anger. What are you gonna get? Hey, how's it going? They're gonna be like, yee, closed off. You're gonna be repelling. They're gonna feel unsafe, right? What about up here? You come in here full of acceptance, love, joy, and peace. They're gonna be like, "Hey, how's it going? Yeah, you're cool. Everything's great. I love everything. Big hug to a stranger," right? All right. So I want to relate this to, real life, because it's not about trying hard to get up here. It's about letting go. It's about retraining our thoughts, right? So let's go back to our approaching a stranger that you might be interested in or you want to know more about. If you walk up to that girl or guy and you say, she'll think I'm weird. I'm not good looking enough. Sh- She'll reject me. I'm I don't have enough hair. Do you think you have any chance with her? Because that's this fear. That's 100 down here. That's fear, that's doubt, that's not being confident, that's not um, thinking good thoughts about yourself. Okay, so the opposite is also true. If what if you accept your body? What if you accept yourself and you say, I am a high value man. I have a lot to offer. I'm perfectly okay with myself. It's okay if she doesn't like me. On to the next. If it didn't work out, that's fine. I'm okay with myself. That is acceptance, reason, that's loving myself. What is that other person going to be perceiving me as? They're going to accept me, possibly love me. They're going to feel my vibration. They're going to be like, this guy's confident. This guy is okay with himself and I like that. That's attractive energy. Okay, that's what we do here. So if you have a lot of negative thoughts about yourself, that's where the work needs to happen. Okay, because you are worthy and you are whole and complete and loved. Okay? So how do you change your frequency? Two things to start: thought and emotion. Thought. How are we going to change our vibration? Thought and emotion. We change the thought and we amplify it with emotion. What does a confident man think of himself? Worthy, loved. He accepts himself for how he is. Handsome. Now, even if he doesn't have money, is he rich? Hell yeah, he's rich. He is rich. He's rich with love for himself. He's rich with satisfaction in life. He's rich with gratitude for all the beauty and things that he has in his life. He's rich because of his relationships, right? So this is the frequency that we're aiming for. Now, how do we get there without actually having it? Visualization. Okay? We have a faculty that we have been blessed with by the Creator Himself or herself, and it is imagination. Now, I know what you guys are using your imagination for, and there's better things that you can use it for. And this is it right here. So you can imagine yourself, not with like external vision, like seeing yourself in your mind. Maybe you create a scene where you walk into the restaurant. I keep saying restaurant. Maybe you walk into the coffee shop and there's a beautiful woman or man in front of you, and you become this person in that scene in your mind and you feel into it. and you confidently say hello to them, and you confidently strike up a conversation with them. This imagination happens in the conscious mind. This is it. You're going to use your imagination. You're going to create the scene. You're going to walk through the scene in your imagination, and you're going to manifest these emotions. She looks at me, with desire. I confidently offer to pay for her coffee. She accepts. We go sit down. We have a conversation for 45 minutes. She gives me her number. Create the scene. Go through this, okay? You create the scene. So this is the conscious mind. I did not spell that right. So you create the scene in the imagination. This is using your conscious mind. Right? This is your mind. When you create that scene and you mix emotion with it, conscious mind, imagination, emotion, this imprints it on the subconscious mind. And when you impress this from your imagination, from your conscious to your subconscious, it updates programming here in the subconscious mind, and you become this person. This is why vibration is important. Now you'll be vibrating naturally at this because you are that. And you don't attract in life what you want, you attract what you are. And when you are vibrating at a high frequency, then you will attract those other high frequency things, like the lover, like the job, like the business, like the money, all the things that you want in life. All right, I'm going to wrap it up there. We'll go deeper into this in other videos. So what's one thing that you desire in your life to change and that you want to attract into your life? Leave it in the comments. Like the video if you liked it. If you want more of this kind of content, let me know. Share it with your friends so we can spread this kind of knowledge to each other so we can live our best lives. Check out this other video. Let's get to work.